What's going on, guys? Jackson here from Vendetta Sports Media, joined by Mr. Kane Lander and Ish himself. We are reacting and giving our thoughts to the just announced, and they just showed the new trailer for it in a live event on Warzone, the new Call of Duty Vanguard trailer. Now, Kane did stream it live on our Twitch. He reacted live to it on Twitch. So go check us out on Twitch, just Vendetta Sports Media. Do a bunch of different types of content. Kane's one of the main streamers. I stream a lot. This is actually the Mad Lad crew from Splitgate. So catch the Mad Lads tearing it up on Splitgate from time to time. But I'll just throw it out there, guys. Kane, since you're the one that streamed it, I'll ask you first. What were your initial thoughts first of the trailer or the event itself? Because you're the one that played the event, and then initial thoughts on the trailer.
Well, I'll just start by saying that I played Warzone in, well, like probably months now. Um, Cheaters were bad. I mean, I've just never been a big battle royale guy. I was only playing it, for my friends, and then my friends kind of stopped playing it, and then, whatever. So I haven't played in a long time. Also, I mean, I talked about it a little bit in the stream. The lawsuit really started to turn me off, and from that. And it just got to the point where I was like, I'm not having fun doing this anymore. So I'm just not going to play this. I'm going to play other stuff. Started playing some Battlefield 4, and then Splitgate came out. And then just been doing that. But the event itself was dumb, if we're being honest here. You drop in, first of all, it took like 5 minutes, like sitting in a waiting lobby to get into the game. And you were all on the same team, which was stupid. Like, you didn't have anybody to shoot. And then we get there, and you shoot a train for 15 minutes. Like, I don't know. It was fine, I guess. Like, if you're trying to blow off some steam or whatever, like throw some C4s and some rockets and some AK-47 shots at, a big armored train. But I don't know. It was kind of dumb. It wasn't. I did say I made a comment about how last year the event wasn't that good for Black Ops Cold War, but like it was way better than this. Like, at least there was you felt like some urgency. I felt no urgency in this. Like, there was just 30 people shooting at a train. The train shot back occasionally, and I don't know. The event itself was stupid. The trailer, on the other hand, in a vacuum, I think was actually a pretty good trailer. As far as the cinematic reveals go, I think it really did a good job of encapsulating sort of World War II stuff and showing that they're gonna, unlike sort of all the other World War II themed Call of Duties, I think it really did a good job of showing that they are going to have all of the sort of various theaters and fronts of World War II. So they are having the Eastern Front, the Western Front, and the Pacific Theater, the whole 9 yards. And yeah, what I will say is Tom Henderson and all these people that were leaking what the trailer was going to be like, they were right 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I ever question Tom Henderson realistically? Yeah, the trailer itself was good. I think, Jackson said it in the chat when I was streaming. I'm still skeptical. It's the cinematic trailer. It was fine, and the trailer was cool, but cinematic trailers don't really do anything for me personally, to sway me to be fired up about a game. I need to see gameplay. I need to hear details. And we'll talk about the details that have come out since the trailer on Call of Duty's Twitter account later. But that was just my sort of reaction to vacuum. It was, it was what it was.
Ish, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, Kane's pretty spot on. I watched the replay of the live event, and it's just basically everyone shooting at a train for a good 10 minutes. Like Kane said, occasionally getting shot back at. But this is just another disappointment from Call of Duty. I'm not surprised that they didn't try to make a different live event similar to, in my eyes, this is basically very, very similar to the Cold War one. Once again, like Kane said, everyone running to the stadium while the nuke's about to go off. So and I liked the trailer. I enjoyed the trailer. They went into the details with the teams and the fronts I mean, I enjoyed that. I love World War games in general, so I'm hoping, and I don't know why I hope anymore with the Call of Duty franchise, but I'm hoping that, they do something that surprises us with this new game. But yeah, this live event was a letdown. I was gonna play with Kane, and I'm glad I didn't, because I would have had to probably waste 150 gigabyte update just for this. So, yeah, I'm excited for Vanguard. I don't know how good of a game it will be. I think it'll definitely be better than Cold War. Cold War is just a really bad. It was just made poorly and rushed, in my opinion. So.
Yeah. So
Well, actually, what I heard about it being rushed, was that Vanguard was supposed to be the game that was released in last year, and it was an absolute disaster. And then basically, like, Treyarch was also developing Cold War for this year, and then they were like, well, they basically had to make a decision about like which game was further along and which game was better, and then like pick up the pieces. So I mean, that's what I've heard about that. Not that I don't really make a lot of excuses for Activision and Infinity Ward and Treyarch and all those guys, but
yeah, for me, the event itself, it sucked. I watched Kane play it. It was just him shooting at a train for 15 minutes. He streamed for like 30 minutes. Half of it was just trying to get into the event, and then the other half was shooting at a slow-moving train. And then the trailer drops. And the trailer itself, for me, it didn't excite me too much because, again, it's not gameplay. It's cinematic. Cinematic is supposed to make it look more pretty and beautiful than what the game potentially is. And it's showing you a lot of maybe like cutscenes and stuff that are in the game, or things that the player's not necessarily a part of per se in like actual gameplay. Yeah. And the stories itself, like, also, I'm always more critical of World War II games, or just like historical games in general, just because of who I am and being a historian, having advanced degrees in history. So I'm always overcritical, but I'm obviously going into this with an open mind. If it's a fun game, then it's a fun game. I don't really care about that. It is nice. I like seeing them branch out of Europe. There was it was a world war. It wasn't just a European war. It wasn't just the Eastern and Western Front. So I'm happy to see North Africa back in the game. I think it's been since Call of Duty 2 since there's been a North African campaign. And then this is the first time we're going back to the Pacific since World at War, which, by the way, I saw on Twitter, World at War was getting highly disrespected when ranking Call of Duty games was trending like a day or two ago. Like, World at War was bottom 10 for some people. People sleeping on World at War. The game wasn't perfect, but as a whole was amazing with the story, the multiplayer, and of course it's the first time we got zombies, so there's a nostalgia factor to it too. But Kane said it, trailer didn't sway me really either way. So we'll transition here and we'll talk a bit more about the game itself, kind of what we think is going to be in it, or just kind of basically reacting to the big announcement that on Vanguard's website that they put. So I'll read this real quick and we'll react to it some. Rise on every front starting November 5th release date. Witness the origins of Special Forces in a gripping campaign. Become a Special Forces operator. An adrenaline-fueled online multiplayer. Experience a universe-expanding zombies crossover featuring full integration with Warzone, including a brand new map coming later this year. So it sounds like this is probably one of the most ambitious Call of Duty games, where it sounds like they have a massive campaign. Kane and I were talking off camera, 16 brand new multiplayer maps, 20 of them in total, 4 of them being some sort of new game mode potentially. I'm not entirely sure what that mode is, but all in all, 20 new multiplayer maps, and then of course this zombies crossover, whatever that means. If they're meaning that they're crossing zombies over from other Call of Duty games. This is a World War II combat like never before. Witness the origins of special forces as you play a pivotal role and change the face of history, forming Task Force 1 in a gripping campaign across 4 major theaters of war. Are you guys even interested in the single player at all?
I usually
I haven't played the
play it
game.
once. I usually play it once through. It's usually the first thing I do for multiplayer, just to sort of get a feel for the game and everything. And like you were talking about your sort of background in history. I'm actually in my last year of a political science degree, and obviously a lot of that is looking at a lot of history. I was super fired up about last year actually because I'm a big Cold War guy. It's obviously sort of one of the more interesting periods to look at politically. But I will play the story. I mean, I've read some leaks that say that this is sort of like an alternate history campaign. Like it's not going to be. It's going to. I heard that it's something about like the Nazis never fell, basically, and you're just like keeping going with that. But
even
like
though
you said,
it's the Nazis, but it's not the Nazis because there's such a stigma around the Nazis. So it's like it's the Nazis, but there's no swastikas or anything anymore.
Well, I read that they had to do a lot of work to.
I know for Germany they have to, because they have to bend over backwards because of the laws in Germany about all the anti-Nazi memorabilia.
Which they should. And I mean, it's one thing to. I mean, you don't need a bunch of swastikas.
Yeah, and I guess it's also like, what type of game are you going for? Like, if this isn't a historically accurate game, then you don't necessarily need it.
Yeah, I agree, and I mean, I will play the campaign. I think that stuff's interesting. The historical stuff is interesting, but I mean, the vast majority of my playtime on this game, if I ever play it, will be multiplayer for sure.
Yeah. Ish, do you care about single player at all?
I probably haven't played a campaign since Black Ops 2, maybe. So I might check it out just because if it, like I said, I like the trailer. So if there's another short cutscene or something that grabs my attention, I'll give it a go. But
the reason why I ask is because it's part of a $60, or if you get it on next gen, it's probably going to be a $70 game. Or if you buy one of the more advanced packages, it could be an $80 or $100 game. And it's part of the game, so you can't just like gloss over it. I feel like I would have to play it, and then if there's a lot of faults with it, then I would have to dock points from the game, because it's like, okay, this was just thrown in there, you guys didn't try at all, but then you tried to use it as a selling point to justify charging so much money for it. And again, I'm a classic Call of Duty guy. I started playing Call of Duty around the Call of Duty 2 era. I think Call of Duty 2 was the first Call of Duty that I ever played. Best story to this day in a Call of Duty is they actually made 2 versions of Call of Duty 2. You have Call of Duty 2, and then you have Call of Duty 2 Big Red 1. And Big Red 1 was the first and only Call of Duty, I want to say, where you were the same character from beginning to end, and you were with the same core. And it's just because it was different eras, like, and I was thinking of this in between too, and I'll throw this question out to you guys. Does a World War II setting fit the modern mold of Call of Duty? And I'm going to say that I don't know if it does. I don't know if it can anymore, just because of how games have developed and the mission that is Call of Duty, and what they're trying to go for with this crossover with Warzone. I don't know how the balancing is going to work with the games. Kane brought it up in his stream. I don't know if World War II can work with Call of Duty's format anymore, and that kind of makes me sad, because Call of Duty was originally started because there was the World War II craze after Saving Private Ryan came out. So that's where we get like Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway, or not Hell's Highway, but the Brothers in Arms series. It's where Call of Duty came from. It's where the Medal of Honor series came from. All of their origins start because of that show, and they tell these grand, epic single player stories. But just because of the way that Call of Duty is moving, I don't know if a World War II setting can fit anymore, especially with a lot of the weapons. They really have to change a lot of stuff, so it's not historical in a sense anymore. So the really only selling point on this is nostalgia. To me, is nostalgia for old Call of Duty fans that remember playing the World War II games.
Yeah, I did touch a little bit on this in the Twitch stream. I think anytime you go back in history, with a video game, you do have a little bit of leeway in terms of like, you still want to make a good game and you don't have to be like completely historically accurate. But I think that the reason these sort of more modern games and futuristic games have made such a splash in the gaming community as of late is simply because the technology you're allowed to put in there without people being like, oh, what the hell, is cooler. You know what I mean? Like, it's the weapons like the Fennec and weapons like the Grau and all these sort of modern weapons, they're cooler than the PPSH and they're cooler than the M1 Garand. You know what I mean? It's the kind of thing where obviously as history has progressed, weapons have gotten better and therefore they've gotten cooler. And it's things like where they want to make their money, I think, with the World War II setting is this massive expansive environment and this whole like big, like, you feel like you're rushing the beaches on D-Day when you're playing that. And that's fine. And I think we will have an answer to this year, if anything, because we will see Vanguard, a World War II game, competing directly with Battlefield 2042, a near future game. So I think we're really going to get an answer here as to whether that has sort of a place in the gaming community. But what I will say is it's been done a million times. Not only now are they integrating it all into Warzone, but now they have to balance all of these World War II weapons from the 40s. And I mean, I don't know what the timeline of this, but it seems like a 40s and 50s type deal if they're doing this sort of alternate history type thing. Now they're going to have to fit 3 eras of weapons all together and make it balanced. So to me, what that says is they'll probably overcompensate and make it unrealistic with these World War II weapons, having them compete with the time to kill of Fennec or an MP5 or something like that. I mean, it's I was watching the Nick Merck stream earlier and his reaction to it, and one of the guys, I don't know who was streaming with him, I'm not familiar, but he's like, you're gonna roll up with your M1 Garand and I'm gonna roll up with my Krig 6. Let's see who wins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's hard, and they're going to have to do a lot, I think, to make it sort of walk that line between realism and you know, making the game fun and also making it sort of balance between everything. Because I mean, there are going to be your people that buy this game for the historical value. There are going to be these people that buy your game because they want to have a fun game and Warzone and all that stuff. I think there's going to be a lot of clashing between those two people, and that's sort of.
Ish, do you have any concerns about weapons balancing, bringing World War II weapons? And I'd imagine there's probably a limited amount. Like, can you obviously you'd have sniper rifles. The Kar 98's already been in the game. There's a Springfield sniper rifle. You know, you have the Mosin Nagant, which is a Russian weapon, which you can see the Russian female sniper in the teaser that came out after you would win a game and whoever was the last person up the rope gets shot, and then you saw her in the trailer with it too. Obviously, like, those would be in there, but there's like other weapons that are already in there. What do you think, Ish? What do you think about bringing World War II into Warzone and potential balancing issues?
I mean, once again, Kane was spot on. We've seen this time and time again. They put the new guns in. The new guns are overpowered, even though they shouldn't be. And, you know, it takes time for them to go through 4 to 5 different updates just to, you know, nerf guns and, you know, figure out the balances. But it seems to take them, you know, more than one update for them to accomplish that. So, you know, it's like I said earlier, I'm just going to hope for a good game, hope for something I could just play with my friends and enjoy. But, you know, I'm not going to expect this to be like I'm not going to expect a great game, you know. I'm gonna expect a fun game, you know, like a good campaign, and you know, maybe hopefully the anti-cheat that they are speaking about with the Warzone, hopefully that holds up. But
Yeah, and
other than that,
I didn't want to spend too much time on the campaign, but literally half of this press release or this article that's on their website is about the campaign. So they're really pushing this campaign. I'm just gonna personally say, I wish we could do more in the Pacific than fly a plane. I hope it's more than just flying a plane. And which, I mean, it's been rumored that planes are gonna come to Warzone, which would be interesting to see. I don't know how I feel about that.
that just sounds overpowered.
It, yeah. And Kane, just to go back to your point about Battlefield and then versus Call of Duty. I mean, you know, it's a tale as old as time. The two franchises have been competing each other since the early 2000s. I mean, completely side note here, I still think Battlefield is probably going to take the cake this fall, just from not only
It looks pretty sweet.
Oh, it looks awesome,
I think
dude.
the new Battlefield game looks amazing.
Yeah, this is not a Battlefield talk. This is a Call of Duty talk. But we're realists, you know. We keep it real. And then not only that, but if you want your World War II, World War I kick, then it looks like you're just going to be able to have that in the new Battlefield because they have that new integration system where you can just kind of create whatever you want. So who says you couldn't just go into you just use their, you know, tools and just be like, well, I'm just going to create my own World War II mode, you know, and boom, it's right here. I don't have to spend another $60-$70 to do it. It's just right there. What else do we got going on here? Well, we could talk about this. This is big news. The new anti-cheat system that is going to be implemented into Vanguard and for Warzone. Something that should have been done a long time ago and has probably done irreparable damage to Warzone. And I don't know if they can kind of crawl back out of that hole, especially because a lot of top streamers have moved away from it. Now, with the release of Vanguard, they may be able to bring, like, Nick Merckx, Dr. Disrespect, Shroud even, may be able to bring them back in for a little bit. But I don't know. Like, you're pretty much going to have to pay them, and they'll obviously stream it because people are going to want to watch. But they're very influential. Like, if the doc, the two-time, if him and Nick Merckx say, this is still garbage, we're still seeing a lot of cheaters, then that could be it for Warzone. I feel like this is Warzone's last effort, and it may be too little too late.
And I've said this a couple times. This is going to be a hot take. Hope with all my heart that Warzone dies. Because I think when Warzone dies, that's when we are going to get adequate effort on the new Call of Duty. Because, I mean, we'll see with this one. Maybe they can do both. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. And I said it in the stream. I hope they prove me wrong. With all this shit I'm talking about, the new Call of Duty and Call of Duty in general, I hope they prove me wrong. But I don't think it's a coincidence that the time that they're focusing on Warzone, like, they start neglecting Modern Warfare 2019, Black Ops Cold War comes out and it's garbage. I don't think it's any coincidence. It's because Warzone's the moneymaker and that's what they're going to do. And so for all these people that prefer multiplayer 6v6 and the more traditional gameplay like me, they're going to alienate those people. So I hope Warzone dies, because I truly think that that's the only way that we're going to get a great Call of Duty. And I was actually pretty pumped when, like, Nick Merckx and all these people stopped playing, because I mean, I just think it's time for us as consumers and us as the fan base to sort of say, like, enough is enough. Like, if Warzone's okay, but if you're gonna make it take priority over everything, over this game that we paid $80 for, then we're not gonna buy your game. Simple as that. And I mean, like you said about them being influential, I just tuned in Nick Merckx and I clicked over to Tim the Tapman real quick. Those two guys together, there's 250,000 people watching on Twitch.
That's insane.
Which I bet is more than the amount of concurrent players on Warzone right now.
That is
and
nuts,
so,
dude. 250,000.
Millions of people see that.
That's
together.
that's
Yeah, I think it was Kim had 100,000 and Nick Merckx had 150,000,
that's
and it's just
that's
ridiculous.
250,000 potential customers. I can't do quick maths right now, but that's millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
That if this
So
does not go well, and just the two of them say, nope, we're just gonna stick with Apex, then that's the end of it.
and that's 250,000 people watching these streamers that they idolize say, I don't know about Vanguard, maybe don't pre-order all this stuff, because I mean, I'm not pre-ordering this year. I learned that mistake with Cold War.
Mm-hmm.
I pre-ordered it because I was super excited because I'm a huge Cold War nerd and I was super fired up. And but I'm not. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not like gonna pre-order it this year. Like I'm gonna play the beta, and even after that, like I'm gonna make a decision after that whether I want to buy this game. Who knows?
Yeah, Ish, do you
I am encouraged with the 16 maps. That was a big thing, and the anti-cheat. But I mean, who knows?
Ish, do you think it's the beginning of the end for Warzone? Do you want Warzone to end? Do you hope it dies? Are you rooting for it to fail like Kane is? Or
I feel repetitive just agreeing with everything Kane's saying, but this kid is missing. Like, I'm 100% the same. I enjoyed Warzone when it first came out. I died out of it real fast, especially I got tired of it even before the mass amounts of hackers and all that. So I'm the 6-on-6 guy. I like just playing my modes, playing with my my friends, squatting up, not having to worry about a several cheaters in a 150-person lobby, rather just run like a 6-on-6 or whatever. So I would like to see it end. Do I think it ends? No, just because of the just amount of money that Warzone solely brings in on the battle pass and all the costumes, and they'll probably do skins for guns this season, or this new game for Warzone. But just the amount of money they make solely on people wasting money on Warzone will be the reason they continue to. The anti-cheat is all hype. I really don't believe it. It's gonna stop like maybe level 1 of the cheaters, but not the other like 75% of guys who can just figure out some other shit. So I would love to see it die. Do I think it dies? No. Especially if Battlefield makes a version of it, Halo makes a version of it, all these big companies continue to jump in on it. Call of Duty is only going to be like, all right, we got to try and revamp it or something. Whether it works or not, that's a long-term thing we got to...
because first off, their initial strategy was, instead of an anti-cheat, let's just give everyone wall hacks. So if you do damage to someone, you can just see them through a wall for 2 seconds, and that's enough time to unload on them. And then also, I mentioned the Mad Lad crew. We play Splitgate a lot. Activision, lawsuit aside, should be embarrassed from the fact that a team of 5 people was able to quickly install an anti-cheat system that is working in a company that
4 days.
In 4 days.
4 days.
I would love to have a Mad Lad online Call of Duty squad. That would be fantastic. Like, not Warzone.
Man, I don't even know if I'm gonna play this game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's TBD. We got to see how it comes out.
If this game turns, great, then of course the Mad Lads are gonna make the transition. Go with the flow and play a really fun COD game. But who knows if this game's gonna be fun? This billion-dollar company should be embarrassed. That's the point I was trying to make.
I told you guys, my hopes are not that high, but I'm expecting at the very least way better movement mechanics than Cold War, better graphics obviously than Cold War, and especially better maps. I hated the Cold War. I really didn't like anything in Cold War other than Nuketown. That's like probably the only thing I played in like maybe the 3v3 mode. But if they it's simple to make the 6-on-6 the online players happy. Just make decent maps that have that are just classic 3-route ABC lane maps. It's not that hard, and just listen to the guys that play the game. That's the thing. They don't listen, and then they wonder why. It's all about Warzone to them. I'm telling you, it's just money. And once Battlefield comes out, Battlefield, I think, takes over this year.
Yeah, I was about to say, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to be playing Call of Duty this year. Look, I'll tell you what, I'll be playing Battlefield 2042.
You think
I'll
Not
definitely
you
be
think
playing
we could
Battlefield.
get like a 40 player Mad Lad crew to take on an entire server in Battlefield? That would be
100,
fun.
128, Jackson.
Oh yeah,
128.
128. Just
But
let's just grow the company massively from now until Battlefield, so that way we have 128 employees, and it's just all of us, every single one of us, even Trey. He wouldn't do that.
He's gonna be on the
offer
head
an
coach.
internship.
He's gonna be
We'll
on
offer-
NFL
Yeah.
2010 head
That's
coach.
that's how we get our esports teams together. We start offering esports internships.
That would. ah. But anyway, I don't know. I am not sold on this at all. I think that probably part of the reason I'm not sold on it is because I've been getting so excited about Battlefield, which it's like I said in the stream, they kind of had a monopoly on the hype for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was so dumb. Like this game's supposed to come out in not even 3 months, like 2.5 months basically, and we didn't know shit about it until a week ago.
Yeah, I know. Well, I said this in the comment section on the stream. The new NBA 2K comes out in like 3 or 4 weeks, and we still haven't seen any gameplay. I've seen 2 screenshots, and one of them was Kevin Durant with an outrageously thick and long neck. It looked disgusting. But I think we're all pretty much on the same page here. The Mad Lads sticking together. We're all kind of in the middle, on the fence still. Need to see more. Kane, you said there's another event on Sunday that
so
they will release
on the 22nd. On the 22nd, we're supposed to get some gameplay at the Call of Duty League Champs thing.
Cool.
So honestly, I'll probably have a more full opinion at that point. Like I said, that it's pretty hard to sway me with the cinematic trailer. That doesn't actually tell us anything about the game.
Yeah.
We did get a little bit of like, it looked like a little bit of like no head-up display or anything like that, but not enough to like make a full decision. So I'm sure we'll be on here talking about the gameplay and stuff and going over it.
Yeah. Ish, any final thoughts from you?
No, I'm definitely gonna. I said this last night or 2 nights ago. I was on Empire's Finest. We were speaking about NBA, the new 2K, briefly, and I'm excited. I think I actually do have high hopes from what I've been seeing on Twitter and stuff. I think this will be one of the better 2Ks in the upcoming years. So maybe we'll get a Mad Lad, Pro AM squad or something.
That would be lit. But for Call of Duty, I've been burnt once when they went back to the World War II time period. So fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I'm not gonna get hyped again. I'm not gonna go out and pre-order or anything. I'm gonna wait, and I may not even buy it day one. I'll be watching other streamers, play.
And I'm
see how
not.
it
I
goes.
mean, I'm not gonna let what happened with me with Madden happen with Call of Duty. I've learned from my mistakes. Which is I bought Madden every single year and was pissed off about it every single
year because you just assumed that they would fix a problem and they didn't.
Well, yeah, I didn't think it was the craziest thing ever to think that maybe this multi-billion-dollar company would be able to listen to their community and actually make the game good instead of just adding these stupid little game modes with custom people wearing crop tops and run around in the yard and stuff instead of fixing the core gameplay problems. But hey, I'm not going to buy it until I know it's a good game.
Yeah. Hey, I will say this real quickly before we close. 22, the franchise mode is looking better, but I'm going to have to wait till 2020 or till 23 probably. On Twitter, Ish, where can everyone find you on Twitter?
Just at Christian Issue on Twitter. That's usually what I'm on. So.
All right. And then Kane, where can they find you?
At Kane Lander.
All right.
On everything.
Yep.
AYNELANDER.
Yep. You can find me, JLaw1995 on Twitter. Follow us, Vendetta Sports, or I think we're media_Vendetta, which I think still needs to change on Twitter. It's kind of confusing, but media_Vendetta on Twitter. But again, This is the Mad Lad crew from Vendetta Sports Media. These are our thoughts on Call of Duty. What are your thoughts on the new Vanguard trailer or the event itself? Did you play the event, or did you watch it like I did, but you still thought it sucked? Leave a comment down below. What you think? What's your thoughts? What's your hopes? What's your fears of the new Call of Duty game? And we'll catch you guys next time.